Last time we have discussed some interrupt architecture. So in interrupt, we have talked about that this we're talking about 8086 interrupts. Okay, so we have discussed some important constraint of this one is that if we divide the interrupts, the total number of interrupts in the 8086 microprocessor, there are two hardware interrupts and software interrupts. So the number is 2 while the number is 256. Okay, and they are given the name just like NMI and INTR. While in this case, their number starts from INT 0 to INT 255. Okay, so this thing we have discussed. We have seen that the first 5 from INT 0 to INT 4, they are called as a dedicated interrupts. And their functions are defined by some internal operation of 8086 microprocessor. So for example, we can say the first INT0 stands for the divide by zero error or divide by zero interrupts. The second is called as a step by step interrupt. Third one is called as a non-maskable interrupt. Another one is called as a breakpoint interrupts, and the last one is called as a overflow. So all these actually we can see that all these type of interrupts are actually affected by some internal operation, okay, or due to some external signal. Okay, and we have seen that out of this remaining 27, if we talk about the remaining 27, so these 27s are normally just total 27 are actually left for the future purpose, and you can see that the remaining interrupts which are starting from, can anybody tell that how many interrupts are used we can use for that one? How many interrupts we can use for that? Anybody? Can you please tell me the number of interrupts for this? This is type 5 to 31. So we can say the INT 5 to INT 31 are used for future purpose, and the remaining 24 we can say that INT 32 to INT 255 means there are total 224 interrupts. So user can use these interrupts and they can define the interrupt service subroutine for that one, with the condition that the interrupt subroutine should be having the last instruction. We can say the last instruction of this one should be return. So this return here will be changed as a immediate return. So this is I return. Okay. So this is the important constraint that you can write down any assembly language program for this ISS to solve that interrupt, and it should be having the condition that the last instruction should be I return, so that it can resume the normal operation or the normal program. Okay. Any question in the last one? Any question in the last that I had discussed the total 5 dedicated interrupt for that? Any question till now? So we are talking on here is that the number of the interrupt. So we say that the software interrupts having the, just we can say where the value of n can be start from 0 to 255. 0 to 255. Okay. So the thing is that this is called as a software interrupts, and software interrupts are also called as a non-maskable, and they are having the non-maskable, and they are having the highest priority among all the interrupts. Okay, so last class में किसी ने पूछा था कि sir which interrupts will be better for us. So obviously NMI is better, but as compared to if you are a programmer, then you can use the INT instruction. So these are having the highest priority. If I talk about the priority, then in this case I will tell you that the priority will be highest for this divide by 0. This is called as a one type of interrupt. Another one is INT n, where the value of n can be raised from 0 to 255. And another thing is that this is called INT O. It is not INT 0. Remember, it is called interrupt on overflow. Interrupt on overflow. So this type of interrupts are having the highest priority. So I am writing the priority. Okay, and the later on we can say the NMI will be having the priority, and then your INTR will be having the priority, and the remaining one is the single step. So these are the priority. So priority will be decreased from divide by 0 to NMI, then INTR, then single step. Okay, so I will tell you that in the most of the consideration we consider that NMI is having the highest priority. Okay, I will give you the one example for that one. If suppose if I'm this is the processor, and this processor is getting at time t1, if I'm getting NMI and some internal operation is something that there are some internal operation which causes the divide by 0 interrupt. Okay, so my question is that who will serve first? Who will serve first? Okay, for example, processor here check the priority that okay, the divide by 0 having the highest priority, so processor will first start to serve this. So at time t2 we can say at t2 it will start to serve this, but at the time processor has also seen that NMI is also arrived. So in this case it will left it in between. It will left it in between divide by 0 का जो भी ISS है उसको वो वहीं पे छोड़ देगा, और उसके बाद में क्या करेगा, and immediately it will come to this NMI and it will serve that NMI, completely serve this NMI, and then finally अगर इसको सर्व कर दिया है तो जहां पर इसने लेफ्ट किया था it will resume the execution. So in this way, if suppose the two highest priority interrupts are colliding with each other, then in this case, due to the some priorities defined for divide by 0, so it can only start it. It can only start and it can left it in between, because at the same time NMI is arrived, and NMI is also called as an emergency signal or non-maskable interrupter like this one. So in this case, we can say that this will be served first. Okay. Any question till this point is clear? Nimish Khandelwal?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my point was there, we first talk about the various type of interrupt and how we can define the vector table for that one. This is very important. So first very important thing is that first we'll talk about this, that in the case of this hardware, how the hardware interrupts will be actuated. Anybody? How the hardware, because we can say suppose this is your processor and we are having the two interrupt. The first one is called NMI. This is called NMI. Another one is called INTR. So can anybody tell me that how this interrupt will be served? Okay, actually again the triggering level is very important here. First we'll talk, we have talked the triggering level in 885 microprocessor also. So triggering level is very important. So first in the case of NMI, NMI is called as a ACE trigger. edge trigger. And type of edge triggered is, it is called the positive edge trigger. Okay, so whenever we at the NMI pin, I am getting this signal just like this at the rising edge. Immediately the NMI will be actuated, and we need not to set any flag for that one because it is high priority, so there is no flag, etc. And immediately it will be served according to the routine defined for that one. For the case of INTR, because it is called as a level triggered, then in this case, the triggering level will be level triggered. So very important thing is that. And the next thing is that earlier we have seen in the microprocessor is that, can you remember that in the case of 8085 microprocessor, we are having the some flip-flop inside the interrupt architecture? Yes. So similarly, there is a one flip-flop is there. So this flip-flop will be set when you set this IF flag. If IF flag is set, then this interrupt will be served. Okay, if this, suppose at the first step मैंने माना कि मेरा IF flag set करके रखा है through some instruction, I have set this IF flag. IF stands for interrupt flag. Now come to the point on here. At the same time, I have applied this level triggered signal to INTR. Now what will happen? If this is set, this INTR will be recognized, and immediately it will causes the program counter to jump on the some predefined location of the interrupt. Okay. Now the second very important consideration is that this INTR is called as a non-vector. Okay. So again, the same concept for that one we have done in the case of 8085 microprocessor is that if suppose it is non-vectored, then again we will take the help of some software interrupts. So you have to derive, or we can say you have to design some external hardware, and then you have to reach the location of this INTN. Okay, we will discuss this thing, how this thing is clear. So the thing is that there are 256 software interrupts, 2 hardware interrupts. The condition is that now the second condition is that if you want to put, because this is non-maskable, you know very well, because N stands on here, non-maskable, but this INTR is called as a maskable. Can anybody tell me that how we can do the masking? How we can do the masking for that one? When I start to ask the question, the people will start to left the meeting. What will happen? Anybody from yourself? How we can do? Asta Jain, please unmute your mic and just tell me about that. How we can mask the INTR? Akshay Chauhan, Anmol Sahu, okay. Any answer for that you want to give for that? Those who are leaving the meeting,
Sir, by resetting the IF flag.
just by resetting the IF flag. Who is Gyanendra Singh? Yeah. Yes, Gyanendra, you are giving the correct answer for that one. If I reset this IF flag, okay, through some instruction, I will not get any interrupt requests from this INTR pin. Okay. So if I'm not getting any, if suppose some device is actuating this INTR pin by this pulse, this interrupt will not be recognized by this 86 microprocessor, because the condition is that my interrupt flag is reset. If this interrupt flag is reset, I can say it is a maskable. So in this case, you can do the masking for that one also. So very good, Gyanen. So come to the next important slide on here is that first we'll talk about the interrupt table. So this is very important concept for that one. It's called interrupt vector table. Why this interrupt vector table is important on here. This interrupt vector table is important on here is that it will keep the vector location of all the interrupts. So basically, when we'll talk about all the interrupts, then we will talk about that nominally. We will talk about the INT end type of instruction. Okay. So in this case, if I'm talking about the location, कोई यहाँ पे बताएगा कि location मतलब the location is called as a address, but the condition is that this address in the case of 8086 microprocessor is of 20 bits. Okay, if I talk about the physical address. Okay, now this physical address is a combination of code segment as well as the instruction pointer. The code segment is having the size of 16 bit. The instruction pointer is having the size of 16 bit. So ultimately this PA can be formulated with the help of the code segment multiply with the 10H plus IP. So ultimately these are having the 16-bit value, these are having the 16-bit value. You will get finally your 20-bit value address, 20-bit address. We have seen this one. So now come to the point on here is that first we'll talk about that how many interrupts are there. So the total number of interrupts, the total INT in instruction, or we can say, or interrupts, okay, where the n is called the number of that interrupt. This n can be ranged from 0 to 255. So ultimately I can say total 256. It is total 256. So the thing is that for one address, one 20-bit address, how many values I will require? Anybody? Can you please say something? For example, we will take the one example that my vector location for any interrupt is something like that, 0004H. Okay, so this is the physical address for any interrupt. If I divide this physical address, that how internally this processor, if I take the example of this processor 8086 MUP, so how this will be put in the value of code segment and IP. So for example, if I'm assuming that this code segment is initialized as the value of 000H and this IP is initialized at the value of 0004H. So I think so that if I multiply this one to find out the physical address, I will do this type of mathematical calculation for that one into 10 plus 004H. So I will suggest that this will be 00000 plus 00004. So this will become the 000004H. So this is the physical address for that one. So now come to the point on here is that my important issue was that I am getting a combination of CS and IP. Where CS is having the value of 00000 colon 00004 for a particular interrupt, ठीक है. तो किसी भी इंटरप्ट की अगर फिजिकल एड्रेस लोकेशन पे अगर मुझे जाना है तो मेरे पास दो चीजें यहाँ पे होना जरूरी है. पहला चीज यहाँ पर मेरे पास कोड सेगमेंट की वैल्यू और दूसरी मेरी आईपी की वैल्यू. ओके, इन दोनों वैल्यूज को जब तक अगर मेरे पास में नहीं है आई कैन नॉट गो फॉर दैट वन. सो आई विल कंक्लूड ऑन हियर इज दैट for a single interrupt, for a single interrupt, I will say I will require the 4 bytes, or we can say if I don't want to say it is a byte, then I will require the 2 words. Please remember, I will again say that the byte is 8-bit, while the one word is equivalent to 16 bit. Please remember. So you can come to the point on here is that total interrupt that I am having in 8086 microprocessor, if I talk about the software, total software interrupts is 256. So how many locations I will be required? For a single interrupt, I will require the 4 memory location. So I will multiply this 256 into 4. I will get a combination of 1024, and this 1024 can be written in the format of 1 kilobyte. If I want to find out, because 1 kilobyte is nothing but 2 to the power of 10, if it is a 2 to the power 10, then I can write down this 2 to the power 10 into something like, if I want to get the physical address, if the address is starting, okay, if I write down this 2 to the power 10 from A0 to something like A9, the combination will be, it will be first, okay. It will be first 0 for all the combination 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and it is 1 for all the other combination, for the highest combination. Okay. The remaining value I am assuming it is increasing one by one. So you can put a dot 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 here. So can you 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Can you please tell me that the what range I am getting for the addresses, for the physical address? Anybody physical address range what I am getting in the 20 bits format for the first location? Because the first location, because it will go till A19. So I'm assuming that all the values for this one, because I am considering only these values. Okay, so you can think about that. Due to this 2 to the power 10, I have to consider only A0 to A9, and the remaining you can assume that there are A19. Please write down in the chat box that what location, what physical location you are getting for that. I hope that it will be. Are you getting that? I'm continuously checking the reply on chatting. Please write down what is the physical address location for that. What will be the physical address location? Vaibhav Dhulekar. No, Vaibhav Dhulekar, you are wrong. Ayush Srivastava, you are correct. Tuvanshu, you are also correct. Okay. Anybody else? Yes. Mushkan, you are also correct. Because the thing is that हमको दूसरे का नहीं देखना है कि दूसरा क्या लिख रहा है वहां पर. हमको ये देखना है कि यहाँ पर जो मैंने एक्सरसाइज दी है वो एक्सरसाइज के अकॉर्डिंग आप एड्रेस निकाल पा रहे हैं या नहीं निकाल पा रहे हैं. ठीक है. तो द थिंग इज दैट माय फर्स्ट एड्रेस विल बी 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 2 3 4 5 in the hexadecimal, and the last will be 03FF. So from here to here, this space is actually covered by vector location. So I will come to the next slide. So suppose if I am saying I am having the total memory size of 1 MB, it is having the size of 1 MB, and this 1 MB memory is externally connected to 8086 microprocessor. So the come to the point on here, or it may be having the combination of EEPROM or RAM, etc. So if you are making the combination of EEPROM and RAM, then you have to take the 512 KB EEPROM and then 512 KB of RAM, and then we are doing something for the interrupt, then it is necessary that you should keep this location into the EEPROM. Okay, so I am not solving that problem for you. I am giving only the hint for that. The thing is that if I'm assuming that up to this location, because if I'm saying if it is starting from a memory location 0000H and it is ending at the memory location of FFFFF, so I will say that up to this location, this is reserved for interrupt. This is reserved for interrupt. Okay, so we will talk about, because here what it will contain, what is the inside to this one. Okay, so here it contains, for example, It is divided like that. Okay, so here I will say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4, for example. So what it will contain? For example, I have said that for one interrupt, for one INT, just a minute. For one INT, I will reserve the 4 memory location. So what are the content that will be available? The content that will be available on the memory is just the combination of CS and IP. So if you are writing some address just like this one, so this IP, this is the complete 32-bit address. Okay, I will think about that because it is a 16, it is 16, and it is 16. So this 16 is called as a LSB 16, and this 16 is called as a MSB 16. But the constraint is that here you can put only 8-bit data. Okay, so I have to divide this one, this IP, into the 2 parts. I will say IP higher order byte, IP higher order byte, and the next one I will say IP lower order byte. Lower order byte. Okay. Similarly, I will say this the code segment higher order byte, and this is code segment lower order byte. And this exercise we are doing for only the one interrupt. Okay, so for the one interrupt, this value will be stored. So where this value will be stored? I will say that on the first memory location, this this IP lower order byte will be stored here. I will suggest this one here. This is stored like this. Okay, here the CS lower order byte will be stored, and this is here like that. Is it clear? Is it clear? I will take the one example is that, for example, I am having INT1. Okay, so I will get how it is starting from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 up to it is, for example, 0, 0, 3 FFF. I am talking about the memory reserved only for the interrupt. Okay, so now come to the point on here. This 4 location may be reserved for INT0. So this portion is covered by INT0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we can say this is covered by INT0. So I am getting this is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so my first location will be again start from at which location? So this is 0, 0, 0 for this is 0, 0, 1 for this, 2 for this, and 3 for this. So new location I will get here as 0, 0, 0, 0, 4. Okay, so this is this is for INT0, this is for INT1. Okay, like this it will go upward. So here I will write down the some fill up for that one. So this value will be covered by IP lower order byte, IP higher my IP higher order byte will become, this is the code segment, lower order byte value will become, and this is the code segment, higher order byte will become. And then later on, at the later state, this is 4, 5, 6, and 7. Here at INT, for whatever it is coming, the new location is coming as 0, 0, 0, 0, 8. and this is for INT 2. Again, the same sequence will be repeated. Is it clear? So I can conclude this thing here like that. That's, for example, if you are saying INT n, then the formula says that how I can get the location, the code segment location. Oh, okay. The code segment location I can get, if suppose this value is n, you can multiply this n, because one interrupt will require the total 4 memory location, and here it will give the location for that one. Okay. Whatever location of your code segment. We can take the one example. For example, if n value is equal to 1, I will get 1 into 4. So this will say that I am getting the value of code segment is 0, 0. Oh, not the code segment. This will be the value of IP segment. So this value of IP segment will be 004. Okay. And assume that the code segment, because the interrupt is always start from 00, so code segment is having the value of 00H. You can do for any interrupt. You can try it. Okay. So I'm giving you the one question. You have to solve this question right now. That, for example, I am talking about the INT4. INT4. Just compute the value of this one. Just compute the value of this INT4. What will be the value of INT4? From where the INT4 will be start? Just write down on the chat box. Write down on the chat box. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you getting my voice now? This slide is visible to all of you. मैं जो यहाँ करवा रहा हूँ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So please try to solve this question, because I am not able to see your answer on the chat box. The problem is that the computer is hanging here. Okay. So just you can unmute your mic and just tell that what will the value of this INT4, where the INT4 will be start.
Sir, 0000
Remember that
F.
this INT4. Just check it once
Yes,
again,
sir.
because 8 is
Zero
covered by
zero
this.
zero 1 0.
0010. Yes, this is correct, because we can say the 4 is this 4 is multiplied with the 4. So this is in hexadecimal it is 10. If I multiply it, so this will become the 00. So the IP value will come as a 00. And suppose the code segment here, the code segment is 000. So if I multiply the code segment, by 000 into 10 plus 0010, so obviously this will be 00010H. You can proceed by like that one. Okay. So can you come to the point that this table is visible to all of you? This table is visible to all of you. This is called the interrupt vector table. If I directly show this interrupt vector table, then definitely you will be confused. But before this, we have done a lot of exercise to see the concept of this one, is that what the thing that is available. So this is the memory location for INT0. This is the memory location for INT1, and this is for 2, this is for 3, and this is for the 4. So this question that I will ask about that one. So these are the vector. Up to now, we can say this vector locations is for your dedicated interrupt. So here they have made the segments for that one. So this is predefined, or we can say the dedicated interrupt. Clear? Okay. How this IVT will come? Few students are thinking here that, but if this is, it will only keep the value of physical address of ISS. So I will say that IVT only keep the value of address of what? It will keep the address of, and this address is called the physical address, because ultimately here I am getting CS and IP value. So this address is of ISS. So this ISS may be possible that it may be written at the some extra segment, or we can say in the data segment, or we can say in the code segment. Okay, so any feasible value will be possible for the address of this ISS. The ISS may be written in assembly language program for to solve that interrupt, but with the condition is that the last should be I return. Okay, immediate return, so it can resume it. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, so for example, if I talk about that in the last example, I talk about the INT4. So if I want to say something, the physical address for this INT4, the physical address will be something we have got as a 00010H. So here may possible that from this point I am only getting the value of only this combination CS and IP. CS and IP combination I am getting, and may possible that CS and IP combination may be something that we have to. For example, the value of CS may be on here, it is starting at the 3000 memory location for this IS, and the IP value may be something like 0004 for INT4 that the user has programmed into EEPROM this location for INT4. Then ultimately the physical address for INT4 will be something like 3001234. Is it correct? So this is at this point may possible that your ISS may be stored. Is it clear? Is it clear? So the possibility ये कहती है कि जो आपका INT4 है वो INT4 का ISS यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ होगा. मैंने एक एग्जांपल लिया है बस, है ना. तो ये लोकेशन हो सकता है कि ये लोकेशन आपकी कोड सेगमेंट की हो, जहाँ की आप कोड लिखते हैं, कोड सेगमेंट की मेमोरी लोकेशन हो जहाँ पर आपने कोड लिखा हो. बट रिमेंबर, पिछली बार भी मैंने आपको कहा था कि जब हम इंटरफेसिंग कर रहे थे तो जब भी हम मेमोरी को इनिशियलाइज करते हैं तो हमेशा ध्यान रखना कि आपका जो पहला एड्रेस रहेगा अगर बॉटम एड्रेस है से लेके 003 FFFF तक का जो भी एड्रेस है, दिस एड्रेस इज एक्चुअली रिजर्व्ड फॉर ओनली फॉर इंटरप्ट. Okay, above that you can use the port segments just like code segment, data segment, extra segment, stack segment, whatever segment you want to do it. You just put the value into this one and you can write down your program. We will do the one program for that one. Okay, don't worry. But it should be, it is clear till now. Any question in this case? So in this case, I will say that this is the for future purpose. So up to this value, this is reserved for the future purpose. And this is given for the user that user can keep. This is user. Okay, this is for some specific purpose, or we can say the dedicated interrupt. Any question till now? Yes. Any question in this case? Please suggest something for that. Any question in this case? Or that should
No,
be-
sir.
Okay. Now the next question is that for you people that, for example, how any interrupt will be solved. Okay, this will be the question for you. Okay, so what we can do now, because you can think about, I will give you the hint for that one. If 886 is doing some normal task, so this is my normal task. Okay, in between, for example, at this memory location I am getting some interrupt. So this interrupt may be hardware, or this interrupt may be possible that some software interrupt may be written by the programmer here, okay, to get the interrupt. Okay, now what will happen? Okay, so I will draw this diagram once again. Up to now some normal task is going here. I will say that up to this, the location of this one is not defined by the program counter. Here there is no role of program counter in the case of 886 microprocessor. The program counter role is taken by this combination CS and IP. Okay, so my normal task is up to this point. Okay, and here I am getting some interrupt. Here I am getting the some interrupt, and again some normal task. Again the some normal task. Okay, and may possible that according to this interrupt, because the interrupt has came here, so the thing is that this interrupt is nothing but it want to serve some ISS. So according to some interrupt, there is some ISS for that one. So ISS is for that. So ISS will also a one kind of ALP. ALP stands for assembly language program. So the thing is that this ALP is written on the some combination of CS and IP, but this location is called the vector location. Means this location is fixed for this ISS. Okay, and from here to here, your ALP is written. This ALP is end on with this instruction I return. Whenever I return value will come, again the program execution will resume again to this point. Okay, so we can say I will resume the operation. Okay, so this diagram is just like this up to the normal task. Then from normal task it will jump here, it will jump here, it will execute this one, it will fetch the one instruction is called I return, and then from afterward the I return it will again come and execute this one. So I am trying with this one with the some red color line. So this is red color line showing just like this. Okay. So here I can assume that any HLT is written or any end is written, something like that. Okay. So anybody will unmute your mic and just tell me that what thing will come into the picture. Anybody? This is clear to all of you how the interrupt will be executed, but there are some hidden steps into this one. I have already shown you the pictorial diagram for that.
Sir, push pop of address.
Yes, Shubhanshu, you are definitely correct. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? But there is something will come into the picture is that we have to retain the flag status also, because it's, to serve any type of interrupt, either it may be hardware interrupt or the software interrupt, the value of IF should be set. Okay. But when the interrupt is recognized, for example, if I'm saying I want to recognize any interrupt, the value of IF should be set. But when this interrupt is recognized, it is recognized, automatically this IF should be become the reset. Why it is so? Because it want to completely execute this interrupt before coming to any next interrupt. Okay. So this is the reset. So the condition said that you have to retain the flag status also on the stack also. So very important thing that the Shubhanshu has discussed here, that we should use the stack. So I will say, suppose I use the one stack for that one. So defining the stack, we will require the combination of, in the case of 8086 microprocessor, we will require the combination of this stack segment and SP. Okay. So the thing is that the first step will be start to here, because earlier in the 8085 microprocessor, the stack pointer is decremented by 1, but here your data bus is of 16 bits. So here the stack pointer will be decremented by 2 instead of 1. So no value will be stored here in the case of this one. And the thing is that again it will be decremented by 2. So the thing is that the first value that is will be here, the first operation, that is that the IF will be reset. The IF will be, the interrupt system is disabled by clearing the IF. So IF will be 0. The first step is that the stack is initialized. For example, I am saying this is the first step. The stack is initialized. The second step says that IF value will become the 0. And the possibility is that you have set the value of trap flag also. So you have to reset this trap flag also. So this will be automatically reset. बिकॉज अगर स्टेप बाय स्टेप अगर हो गया तो इंटरप्ट में स्टेप बाय स्टेप नहीं चलेगा, वो तो कंप्लीट आपको प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूट करके देगा जो भी टास्क उसका आईएनसीएस के करस्पॉन्डिंग लिखा है। तो पहली दूसरी कंडीशन आईएफ फ्लैग आपका सेट होना चाहिए, तीसरी कंडीशन कहती है कि आपका जो है वो ट्रैप फ्लैग यहाँ पर सेट होना चाहिए। देन द स्टैक पॉइंटर इज डिक्रीमेंटेड by 2, then the first thing is that the value of flag, so I am writing the flag here, the flag value, yeah, you can use it directly because decrement करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, आप इसको डायरेक्टली भी ऐसे कर सकते हो ना। तो फ्लैग वैल्यू को मैंने यहाँ पर स्टोर किया, तो फ्लैग का लोअर पार्ट यहाँ पे रखा, फ्लैग का हायर पार्ट यहाँ पे रखा, मतलब एमएसबी मैंने यहाँ पे रखा। तो फ्लैग वैल्यू मैंने अपनी स्टोर कर दी और ये कंटिन्यूसली डिक्रीमेंट हो रहा है, ठीक है। तो मैं ऊपर जा रहा हूँ तो वो मतलब डिक्रीमेंट हो रहा है, जस्ट लाइक इन 8085 वी हैव डन। द नेक्स्ट वैल्यू दैट विल बी स्टोर्ड बाय दिस वन इज विच वन, बिकॉज द अगला वैल्यू अपने को यहाँ पे करना है, तो अपन यहाँ पे इसकी थोड़ी सी चेंज करते हैं। स्टैक इज इनिशियलाइज, देन द सेकेंड थिंग इज दैट द आई एम राइटिंग द सेकेंड वन एज ए फ्लैग is stored on the stack. Flag is stored on the stack. Then the third is IF flag is set, and the fourth one is called the trap flag will be set. The fifth condition says that ultimately your physical memory is defined by the combination of this CS and IP. So if I am saying that CS is considered as a MSB, this IP is considered as a LSB for calculating any physical address. So the thing is that who will be stored first. So in this case, if it is again decrement, then I want to store this value with the help of some pushing operation. So the CS value will be stored first. Then in this case, the value of this, I think that I may be correct on that like that. If I am considering that this is decreasing, then in this case, this CS value will be here stored just like this CSL, and this is CSH. Okay, so port segment values stored here. Again, it is decremented, and the value of IP will be stored just like this IP and IP. Okay, तो नॉर्मल, अगर नॉर्मल केस में देखें अपन, जैसे 8085 में अपन देखते थे, तो वो कैसे होता था। 8085 में अपन देखा था कि जब अपन नॉर्मल मेमोरी की जब अपन बात करते हैं, तो जैसे मान लो मेरे पास एक मेमोरी लोकेशन है 3000, तो अपन पहले क्या करते थे, यहाँ पे 00 करते थे, उसके बाद ये 1 से इंक्रीमेंट होती थी, अपन 30 यहाँ पे इंक्रीज करते थे। तो अगर मैं इसको उल्टा कर लूँ तो पहले यहाँ पर H होगा, फिर L होगा, then here again there will be the H and there L, so here H and L. Okay, so because it is decrementing like this, so your stack is filling like in a decrement order. Am I right here? Just like your 8085, whatever we are doing. So first thing is that you have to push the flag, push the port segment, push your IP flag, etc. And then finally, in the case of the hardware, through the hardware, the processor run the interrupt cycle. For example, थर्ड केस ये वैल्यू स्टोर हो गई। अब अगले वाले केस में अपने को क्या करना है कि अगर आपको INTR पिन से अगर सिग्नल मिला है, बिकॉज INTR इज कंसिडर्ड एज अ वन टाइप ऑफ द हार्डवेयर इंटरप्ट, देन इन दिस केस फॉर द एक्नॉलेजमेंट पर्पस दिस 8086 विल रिलीज इंटरप्ट एक्नॉलेजमेंट। फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट अगर ये इंटरप्ट मेरे को दिया है तो उसको रिकॉग्नाइज करने के लिए मेरे को क्या करना पड़ेगा, यहाँ पर 2 इंटरप्ट एक्नॉलेजमेंट सेंड करने पड़ेंगे। So the total number is equal to 2. First interrupt acknowledgement, during the first interrupt acknowledgement, what is the meaning? The first interrupt acknowledgement is only for the acknowledgement to that device that your interrupt is recognized. Don't send further interrupt. In the second interrupt, what will it will do? In the second interrupt, it will enable some external hardware, just like in an 8085 microprocessor, external hardware to get the location of software input. Clear? because this is here I am considering this INTR as a non-vector. So how the non-vector will be served? Have you remembered the concept of 8085 microprocessor? For INTR, we have used some circuitry of RST0 to RST7, any one circuitry for that one. And we use the location of RST0 to RST7 according to the hardware design for that one. So I am again repeating that apart from this stake operation, if you are getting the interrupt request on the INTR, the first thing that the 8086 microprocessor will do, that it will generate the two interrupt acknowledgement for that one. The first interrupt acknowledgement is to give the one signal to that external device that your interrupt is recognized, don't send the further interrupt. Okay. In the second case, it will try to enable that external device which will generate the software location for that software interrupt location for that INTR. Okay, so these two important points should be clear to you. And once the location you will get, so software location, the meaning of software location, what is the meaning of software location? The meaning of software location, for example, I will again write here, this is your 8086 microprocessor. 8086 microprocessor. So I am getting my INTR here. So here I am getting my interrupt acknowledgement. For example, I have connected some external device. External device. The role of this external device to generate or supply the vector location corresponding to INTN. So ultimately we can say that during the second interrupt acknowledgement, if I'm talking about the second interrupt acknowledgement, if I talk about that one, so during the second interrupt acknowledgement, I am getting the value of N, and if I'm getting the value here from INTN instruction, I'm getting the value of N, and this N will define the combination of CS and IP. So this CS and IP, the 8086 microprocessor will check what is this CS and IP. So it will refer the IVT for that one. And once again, it has taken the CS and IP combination. So according to it, it will calculate the physical address by taking this one, that CS will be multiplied with the 10 plus IP. So this will the physical location, physical address location. So this physical address location will be corresponding to INTN instruction where this ISS is written. Okay, so it will go to this ISS by taking this physical address. It will serve that ISS. It will go and then serve this ISS, and finally it will get in one IIT return instruction. Now again it will come and go to the stack that where the normal program location is written. So normal program location is this one. This is the normal program location. So here, with the help of the pop operation, it will get the normal program location. Okay. So in this way, we can say the interrupt will be served here. The interrupt will be served. Any question till now for that one? Any question? Is it clear? This interrupt servicing is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is nothing but बहुत ही सिंपल है. आप सिर्फ स्टेक का ऑपरेशन याद रखो. स्टेक में हमने क्या किया, जो हमारा नॉर्मल इंटरप्ट, ये वाली जो चीज थी मैंने आपको ये जो बताई थी, ये वाली चीज को हमने क्या किया, हमने स्टेक पे स्टोर कर लिया, है ना, स्टेक पे पुश कर दिया. ठीक है, क्योंकि हमको वापस जब हम आई रिटर्न करके आएंगे तो हमको ये लोकेशन चाहिएगी, तो हमको ये लोकेशन वापस से निकालना है, तो हम स्टेक से इसको पॉप कर लेंगे. बट ड्यूरिंग दिस यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि हमको फिर से एक एक्सटर्नल हार्डवेयर की जरूरत पड़ रही है. तो आपको याद है, कैन यू रिमेम्बर दिस सर्किट, एनीबॉडी? दिस सर्किट वी हैव यूज्ड इन द केस ऑफ 8085 माइक्रोप्रोसेसर. और क्यों यूज किया था? क्योंकि हमको आर एस टी एन की वेक्टर लोकेशन निकालनी थी। ये आर एस टी एन की वेक्टर लोकेशन आपको कहाँ से किससे निकालते थे? फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर ये सर्किट बना हुआ था तो ये सर्किट किसके लिए था? ये आर एस टी 5 के लिए था। ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब ये था कि जब भी आर एस टी, जब भी आपको आई एन टी आर रिक्वेस्ट वहां पे आती थी, है ना, 8085 के केस में, अब फिर से मैं आपको रिकॉग्नाइज करवा रहा हूँ, तो आप क्या करते थे, ये जो इसकी इंटरप्ट एक्नॉलेजमेंट पिन थी आपने यहाँ कनेक्ट की हुई थी, तो जैसे ये इंटरप्ट एक्नॉलेजमेंट पिन आपको जैसे यहाँ पर आपका पल्स आया इंटरप्ट के करस्पॉन्डिंगली, और आपने ये डिसाइड किया है कि जब भी मेरा INTR आएगा तो मैं RST5 की वेक्टर लोकेशन जनरेट करवाऊंगा। तो RST5 की वेक्टर लोकेशन हमने कैसे जनरेट करी थी? 5 मल्टीप्लाई विद द 008, अगर आपको याद हो तो उसके करस्पॉन्डिंगली जो भी लोकेशन आ रही है वो लोकेशन पे ये सर्किट जाता था, क्योंकि ये जो कॉम्बिनेशन है ये आपका डाटा बस पे जाता है। इट विल गो ऑन द डाटा बस, सो दिस विल D0 to D7, दिस D0 to D7 मतलब आपका जो EF का जो भी कॉम्बिनेशन है वो आपका डाटा बस पे जा रहा है, और वो डाटा बस पे जाके आपको ये इसकी वेक्टर लोकेशन यहाँ पर बताता है। इस वेक्टर लोकेशन पे आपका इंटरप्ट सर्विस रूटीन लिखा हुआ रहता था, उसको वो सर्व करता था, और फाइनली INTR आप कहते थे कि वो एग्जीक्यूट हो गया। द सिमिलर सिनेरियो is used in the case of this 8086. Okay, I will just make a bigger diagram for that one. Okay, is it visible? Is it visible? So the same thing, same concept, same concept of 8085 microprocessor. So in the case of this 8086 MUP, why this diagram is changed on here is that because you want to get a vector location for INT n, but here the value of n is from 0 to 255, means total 256 लोकेशन पे आप जा सकते हैं, लेकिन 256 लोकेशन को जाने के लिए आपको नंबर ऑफ लाइंस की जरूरत हो पड़ी, मतलब जो स्विचेस की कॉम्बिनेशन की जरूरत है वो टोटल 2 to the power 8 है। तो आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर जो टोटल जो स्विचेस अपन ने यूज किए हुए हैं वो यहाँ पर 8 स्विच यूज किए हुए हैं। ठीक है, तो आपको जिसके ऊपर भी जाना है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने ऐसा बनाया कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं अगर एग्जाम्पल लूँ आप यहाँ पर, तो अपन एक कंसिडर केस करके चल गए कि 8086 म्यूपी है यहाँ पर। अब सपोज दिस इज 8086 म्यूपी एंड आई एम गेटिंग ए सिग्नल ऑन INTR, और मेरे को ये चाहिए कि मैं जब भी INTR जनरेट करूं तो मेरा जो है वो INT, अभी मान के चलते हैं कि INT 1 पे जाए वो, है ना, हालांकि INT 1 इज ऑब्वियसली सम डेडिकेटेड इनपुट हियर, तो INT 1 पे जाएगा। तो हम क्या करेंगे INT 1 पे जाने के लिए, कोई बताएगा यहाँ पर? INT 1 पे जाने के लिए तो INT 1 कब जाएगा? ये 1 क्या है? तो 1 को मैं 1 मतलब मेरा n है, तो n मतलब क्या, मतलब मैं इसको अगर 8 बिट के कॉम्बिनेशन में लिखूं, क्योंकि n की वैल्यू मेरे को 8 बिट में लिखनी पड़ेगी, तो 000000001, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जब ये ओपन है तो ये सब VCC पे जा रहे हैं, है ना, तो सब ये VCC पे जा रहे हैं, तो मेरे को क्या करना पड़ेगा, इनको सबको क्लोज करना पड़ेगा। मतलब अगर मैं यहाँ पर इसको, ये I0 है, तो ये I0 मतलब ये मेरा I0, दिस इज माई I0 एंड दिस इज माई I7। ठीक है, तो ये वाले स्विच को मैं ओपन रखूंगा और बाकी सबको मैं क्लोज कर दूंगा, इनको सबको मैं क्लोज कर दूं। इफ आई क्लोज इट द रिमेनिंग कॉम्बिनेशन विल बी 0, क्योंकि ये सब शॉर्ट हो गए, सिर्फ ये ओपन है, तो यहाँ पर ही मेरा सिर्फ 1 आएगा, सब यहाँ पर 0 हो जाएंगे। तो ये रिवर्स कंडीशन में लिखा है, मतलब अगर मैं इसको लिखूं इस वे में तो ये मेरा 1 हो रहा है, क्योंकि अगर ये I7 यहाँ पर है तो देखो I7 यहाँ पर है और I1 यहाँ पर है, तो मेरा क्या होगा, जब ये डाटा बस पर अपनी वैल्यू सेंड करेगा, दिस आउटपुट लाइन, दिस इज कॉल्ड द आउटपुट लाइंस ऑफ दिस बफर, so these output lines are connected on the D0 to D7। तो D0 to D7 क्या कॉम्बिनेशन गेट कर रही है? D0 to D7 जो कॉम्बिनेशन आपका गेट कर रही है वो क्या कर रही है? इट इज गेटिंग 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1। ओके, सो यहाँ पे अपन ये मान के चलते हैं कि ये कॉम्बिनेशन मेरा जाएगा IP पे, तो दिस इज फॉर, because if I am saying that all these remaining lines are I'm assuming as a 0 0 0, okay, so this is for my D7 to D0, and this is for D8 to D15. Okay, so ultimately मेरा जो IP का combination बना, the IP combination I am getting as 0001. So if suppose my CS port segment value is 000, IP value is 00001, so the physical address memory recollection I will get as a 00001. So I am getting correctly that I am getting in pulse of INTR. I am going on the physical memory where the ISS is written. So I will serve this ISS. So I will conclude that this INTR is a non-vector, but I designed this hardware interrupt in a such a way that I am getting the interrupt vector location of INT1 where the some ISS is written. So whenever this INTR is getting a request, my ISS which is written on the memory location 00001H will be served. Okay, so I'm stopping here. In the next class on the Monday, I am again launching the 2 more questions in the assignment. So please be ready. You have to submit this one on the Google Classroom. Okay, the timing is also mentioned there. You can submit it. Okay, thank you so much.